the Guilty Gear Strive 4 Season 4, excuse me, Guilty Gear Strive, it is basically Guilty Gear 4, but Guilty Gear Strive Season 4 patch has players in shambles. I'm talking shambles. Like, simply put, a lot of people, from my opinion, they got patched out the game. Now, I'm gonna open with this. It's gonna sound kind of facetious. It's gonna sound a little rough, but I do have to be just a tad bit honest here, as it happened in my last set of coffee talks and videos. And essentially, it goes in line with this, right? Essentially, what I've noticed is, in my time in playing Strive, there's been a lot of people saying, oh, adapt, just adapt. You know, the future is now, you gotta adapt to Strive, blah, blah, blah. And that puts a lot of people away, right? A lot of old heads got pushed away from Strive. Enter Season 4. I'm not saying it's everybody, right? So don't take it the wrong way. But there's a lot of people that are super dooming and glooming. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that the patch doesn't have things that need to get fixed. That would be a lie. However, it was enough of a shakeup to have a lot of people just be in complete disarray. Now at that point, I wonder why they can't adapt. It's essentially an update to the game you already love. What happened to adapting? I digress. I will openly admit that there are some things that are fundamentally a little wrong, such as the removal of some combo routes, as playing Chipp 2H into K Alpha Blade is a little funky. They definitely did put more emphasis on zipline than before. They didn't have zipline before. And it took him a minute to get his K Alpha Blade combos to work right, and now it feels more like Season 1 all over again, where you have to kind of like time it, like, and get it properly, have proper run momentum, etc, etc. So it's kind of like, I don't know why y'all did this, but okay. So I want you guys to know I'm not oblivious to that there are things that have changed with characters in terms of combo routing and shit like that, because I play a character whose combo routing got completely readjusted. But outside of that, I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I've been thinking it's a little bit more fun of a game to play as opposed to the way it was before, because Season 3, as you guys know, I didn't really play it. Most of you guys know I've uninstalled the game 2 years ago, and now I'm like, okay, this is a little bit better, so maybe I'll give it a little bit more of a go, and I do like it, I'll admit. Competitive, don't look for that from me. But enjoyment, yes. But regardless, I think this current patch is okay. It does need some work, obviously, but I think it's okay. It's a step in the right direction, in my opinion, for Guilty Gear. With this patch has come a lot of frustration with a lot of people, as I mentioned in the beginning. So frustrating that it's got the producer of Guilty Gear, Ken Miayuchi, to come out and make a tweet. That's how bad it is. So we're gonna take a look at this tweet real quick, and we're gonna talk about it, right? Yep. All right. Ken, what you gotta say, big dog? And I don't mean Ken Masters, even though it's KM, he may as well be Ken Masters. But, dear Guilty Gear Strive players, I'm seeing many of your concerns on the recent patch 1.40 regarding the latest battle balance update. Internally, I've been talking to the teams about it and discuss what we can do and how soon that can be released. I will keep you posted here. Oh, look, it's LK. Hi, LK. This makes me, by the way, chat room, real quick, so we can have it down here. Everyone say hi, LK, in the bottom. I kind of want them to laugh at that, if you're watching. I'm a little, I don't know, I guess I'm a little concerned, because it makes me wonder if this is going to lead into another situation such as Tekken, where quote-unquote pro players or high-level players influence the game, which we talked about that in one of the most recent videos, just came out, and it makes me wonder what's gonna happen here. Because at that stage of the game, I'm not gonna lie to you, Chief, at that stage, I'm sitting here as a pro player of previous Guilty Gear games, and I'm wondering why in the insert blank 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 did you not listen to me or some of the other players who've been playing your series this entire time? Now that's just me as a humongous fan of Guilty Gear wondering why it took you to get here to actually take that player feedback into consideration. I understand you wanted to make Guilty Gear unique and new, totally understandable. However, here you are now looking like they're potentially buckling towards the audience because the changes that they wanted to see for the game got people in disarray. What about me? I've been here longer than the people who've been playing. So what about us and the people who've been here? You see what I'm saying? You see how that feels a little sus? But you know, I get it. I'm not here to take away the success of Strive. Trust me, that's not the case. I'm not here to take away the success of Strive. I think Strive's success is great, you know, and I've always said it. Even though I may not play it, I still support Guilty Gear. I may not have made content for it for a little while, but low-key, I still love and support Guilty Gear. And I can't help but wonder what this is about. I think acknowledging that they have bugs and glitches in the patch is fine, which obviously this patch has a lot of those bugs and glitches, for sure.
Du coup, c'est une carte crush. Mais pourquoi il est tout ça putain de dishonneur. Oui, ça veut dire que c'est le chicané.
Are you serious right now, bro?
For sure, there's a lot of bugs and glitches for sure, 100%. But at the same time, I don't think the balance is that bad. There are some things like Gold Lewis and record canceling into, you know, Beam and Typhoon, if you will. I do think that's kind of, it's kind of silly. I was not the biggest fan of Potemkin losing the carrot cancel, even though I don't play pot. But he did get armor on his command grab, which means it's harder for people to mash him out. Unless, if I recall right, you can get pot busted and off your normal, and you could still Roman cancel to pop him out of it. I haven't tested it, but I'm sure that might still be a thing. Because I know when you armor something, you can still RC to cancel the armor out. But you need 50 meter to do that, right? And they made Hammerfall break a lot faster, and they buffed the damage on Potemkin Buster. So it's kind of like, you know, they kind of made your character better. From what I saw a lot of people complaining about Potemkin, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I guess. But there are other characters that definitely need to be touched, like Ramlethal. I don't know what they were thinking with Ramlethal. I feel like Ram is like this character where like they just always know that they want her to play a specific way, and sometimes making her play that specific way ain't always the best thing for the game. Can they balance it? Of course. Do I think Ken and his team can balance it? Of course. But right now that Calvados Super does so much damage, I wonder why. You know? I think Ram consistently becomes more interesting each patch. But then there's things that I wonder why other characters don't have something similar. Looking at Chipp, I don't know why she had Rekka's into dash cancel when Chipp didn't have it. And I understand Chipp's his own character. It's cool, I get it. Not everyone needs to be the same, but the character had ways to just stay on top of you, which was like, why can this footsie character stay next to you? She's not. You took away her command grab to make her not so quote unquote mix up heavy, but now she's this neutral queen that has the ability to just completely maul you up close. So it's like, okay. I've heard a lot of complaints that characters got stronger but feel worse. A lot of Rams and Pacha saying that. I mean, I just said that about Potemkin. I don't think Potemkin got worse, right? So think of it this way, right? A lot of Guilty Gear strive was to simplify the game to make it easily playable by a lot of people. Even though having how to Kara cancel pot buster or Kara cancel 6K in the tutorial, it took it out. And it took it out for a reason. It's because a lot of people that play Potemkin can't do it. So they obviously given something else instead to help those that want to play Potemkin. But don't you find it ironic that those that like the execution of that love this game and didn't like the old one? Now we're having a little bit of a conflict of interest where like players like myself who love the older games, I still don't mind strive. I love the execution barriers. That's part of playing characters. But now they're lowering the execution barrier for your character and taking away this, and now it's a problem. Oh, well, I can't do my pop buster setup. Well, you got something else you can use. I don't want to use that. Well, they took away my teleport, they took away my camouflage, they took away a bunch of my stuff. So what do you want me to tell you? At that point, I don't feel bad for you. I think you should just learn to deal with what you have, just like how I had to. That doesn't mean like I'm being mean about it, but it is a factual thing that there are things that are in previous Guilty Gear games that they took out from this game that you guys got to deal with now. And now they're removing execution for you, and now it's a problem. So now it's almost like the shoe was on the other foot, and this isn't even a new game. This is the same game in a new season. It doesn't make sense. To me, it doesn't make sense. Now, I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm being the old Guilty Gear guard, and I'm saying just deal with it, scrub. Partially, I am, but the reality is like you're dealing with it now, and you have to get used to it. So what do? There's nothing really wrong with it. You just gotta play within the means that they give you. You know, they already made the game a very canned game, and they're trying to reopen the game up. Like seeing Guilty Gear now, like not really revolve around Roman cancel is very interesting. It's weird, but interesting to me at the same time. Roman cancel has always been a big part of Guilty Gear, and now it feels like Roman cancel is not as important. They're giving characters combo routes that don't require meter, which is rightfully so because the kind of game it is, you kind of need that right about now. Canning all the combos behind Roman cancel is kind of bad. But then I also think at the same time, this game has very weird rules in terms of its Roman cancel system, in terms of like how you can dish out the damage. Some characters dishing out crazy damage with Roman cancels, others not as much. So there's a lot of things that I'm very much so curious about moving forward. And I just think that where we are as a community with this game, I'm gonna be the guy to provide that alternate perspective and tell you straight up and down that like where the game isn't bad. The game in this current state to me is not bad. It has its issues. It could be better. Like, see, for me, I have a bunch of different asks for making this game better. And like things like DPRC could come back if they just revert and go back to some older things from older Guilty Gear games. But I get it. On one front, you have those that look at it and they're like, well, just because it was in the old game doesn't mean we need it here. Honestly, it makes for a more dynamic game, honestly. But I digress. Because in the same breath of saying that we don't need those things to come back, then I guess you don't need your Kara Pop Buster either. I guess you don't need your Kara 6 slash into command grab with soul. Why go back and add things like Kara cancels if you don't want things like DPRC in the game? Then why do you want Kara cancel? Right? Those are techniques of the past. So why do you want things of the past to stay in your game? You see what I'm saying? You see how like the goalpost shifts when it's like convenient for like said player base or said character players, as opposed to the overall sphere of the game. Well, I need command grab pop buster because this lets me do this setup. Well, no, you don't. You were the same people that were telling me I didn't need teleport with Chipp. You were the same people that told me I didn't need camouflage with Chipp. You're the same people that said I didn't need this and that, or Guilty Gear didn't need these things. So make it make sense. It's just the shoe is on the other foot now. So I feel like this patch was meant to bring back some of the older players, because I've seen and talked to a lot of some of the legacy players who quit Strive early on that touched this patch and like, this isn't bad. They wouldn't play it super serious, but they'll play it. You know, they'll turn the game on. Better than them buying it and saying, yeah, nah. You know? That's why I say, like, it's just a better game in my honest opinion. I definitely think it's a better game. I think so. It's more unique. Things like, you know, Wild Assault needed to get touched. You know? Next up is Gatlings. I feel like they're slowly learning that, like, you can make Guilty Gear work the way it was before, and it's gonna get better. When I play Chipp now, right? Let me talk about my experience with Chipp. My experience with Chipp right now has been really good. I think the zipline is dope. I think that's one of the best things they did for that character. He's been a wrecking machine for the last 3 years, and I think it's just outright the most boring thing. And I literally want, look. Ken Miayuchi. Okay? I'm addressing Ken directly. Ken. Katano. Both of you. Okay? I'm gonna get real with this stream. Chat, I'm about to get super real with this. I understand your ideas behind the game as a longtime fan. As a longtime player of your series. I go all the way back to Guilty Gear 1. I can go pull that game out for you guys right now, Ken. You and Katano, I can pull out for both of you guys. I can show you guys all the memorabilia and everything like that. And I understand business decisions need to be made. But as a part of battle, one of the greatest things about this game series has always been the creativity behind the game system. And this is the first time in a long time this game's had that creativity, in my opinion. I think the direction you guys are going is great. You need to just double down on it and make Guilty Gear what it was. You can keep your Gatlings the way you want. I don't care about that, personally. I care about you keeping the integrity of the game intact and what it's known for, which is high mobility and creativity. The characters themselves are creative, yes. However, right, the characters are creative, but the game in itself and its system is the part that makes it very crippling to have what Guilty Gear was, which was this gigantic sandbox of characters that had a lot of cool stuff in which that they can do. Yes, after a certain point, the game did boil down to XYZ factors, but it didn't mean that the game stopped expanding, which is why games like Accent Core were continuously played and still played today, and players have found so much crazy stuff in the games. The tier list has changed. How players view things has changed. Things like using Blitz Shield and all those other mechanics of the older games, people have learned new ways to utilize it. And I think that's the beauty part of Guilty Gear, is that you have such a robust system, and this is why I love the game so much. You guys have always made a very, very, very robust system, and you've made it to be something amazing to play. It is an experience that is not like Street Fighter. It is an experience not like King of Fighters. King of Fighters to me has been the only other game that comes close to the way Guilty Gear works in terms of that expansiveness with the mobility and the creativity amongst the characters. You guys were always good at this. And while Strive has had a lot of canned situations, Season 4 is proving that you guys can go back to what it was. I don't care. And let's say I don't care, right? Instead, I'll say your infatuation with damage is understood because you want players to feel like they're doing something, and I get that. But to adjust the defensive modifiers just to add damage to other areas, while also saying in the same breath you want more interactions, does not make sense. If you're gonna up the defensive modifiers to make it better for players and characters to live a little bit longer, leave the damage alone. Risk build is already there for the extra damage output. You already have that. Don't up this and then don't up this and then up this with it. Leave that the same. Leave it alone. If anything, my biggest wish for the system change is to just take the damage, leave it alone, revert it back. Leave it where it was. Characters are already dying fast enough, but like I said, you can't say I want more interactions and then do this. Does not make sense. If you want more interactions, leave the damage, lower the damage. Let risk build be the factor. Let risk build be the deciding factor of how much damage can be done. You can leave that unchanged. But all I'm asking for is to keep the air game intact. The air game has suffered drastically in Strive for so long, and you guys have tried to make anti-airs and things of that nature really strong with the ways 6P works, but at the same time, you also double down on a system that made players rely heavily on just hitting 6Ps to like reward them in so many different ways that I think is kind of like unbecoming, because a 6P is a hard knockdown on counter hit. So rather than just giving just that alone, and it's a great universal advantage for a lot of characters, just open the game up. You're already starting here with this season. Open the game up some more. You're like so close. You're right there. Just open it up. And be kind to your characters. Be kind to the people that are playing your characters. Because as far as I'm concerned, Chipp has always been one of the most unique and expressive, creative characters in Guilty Gear. That's why I've always stuck with him no matter how difficult it's got. But this game, he's been the most canned character, while watching every other character get all these expansive things like Soul, Kai. Everyone gets all this expansive stuff, but I get to watch Sushi, Sukiyaki, Resho, Rokusai for like 4 years. I'm cool with that. I've done that for the entirety of my life. But man, let him do more. Don't be afraid. And this stuff with the zip line, beautiful. I still feel like you could have gave him his teleport back at least, because fighting characters like Asuka is kind of a joke. Same thing with his Gamma Blade. I wonder why y'all made it a clone. It almost feels like it's like a sick, twisted joke. Like, why give him these tools if it's just he's gonna die for using it? Why make this high risk reward for no reason? It feels like this risk reward just feels like no, it doesn't feel good. I don't think it's good. But I get it. You want him to be and feel unique in this Gamma Blade clone stuff. And I'm sure a lot of Chipp players have complained about it too for a while. Nago gets actual Gamma Blade and gets full combos from it. Chipp gets Gamma Blade and gets to die for using it. It'd be nice if Chipp had what he had before instead of this clone thing, or you can give it 2 moves. Give him Shadow Clone and give him actual Gamma Blade. I felt like you could have gave him that as a new move and I'd been okay. I would have been okay. Like, alright, well at least he has old Gamma Blade to combat like Asuka throwing cubes at him from like, you know what I mean? But regardless, I get it. You have a vision for the game. I'm not gonna knock y'all too hard. It's been 4 years so far, right? But I think all I'm asking for you guys to do is to just be kind to your characters. And be kind to the people who play your game a little bit more. You've already pushed a good chunk of the old people out of the way and you got a new audience. That's fine, that's okay. But as someone that still supports Guilty Gear, like, just be kind, please. That is my biggest ask as a fan. Be kind to your player base. And I get that's what's happening here with this, which is why you guys are addressing this patch. So don't forget, you guys still have people that still support your game from the start. I still would like to play your games. That's all I'm asking for. That's my note to Ken and the dev team. Like, you guys have done great. Just please be kind. Open up the air game. Don't be so fixated on the ground. The ground is the ground's already hot lava as it is. Don't take away movement-based playstyles. Add run momentum to the game. Don't be... Those nuanced things is what made Guilty Gear so fun. So, one long-term fan, one long-time withstanding fan with memorabilia, and give me a Chipp statue, man. Come on. 4 freaking games and no Chipp statues. Stop giving stuff to Ramlethal. Damn it. Alright, now I'm just bitching. And now I'm just complaining. Alright, but realistically speaking, yes, you guys are doing a great job. Open the doors a little bit more. Keep going. Please keep going. I'm asking for it. You guys are almost there. So thank you for communicating this part with the player base. I do appreciate that. So without going any further, that's my personal ode, my personal hope and prayer for the game. Open up the ground, open up the air game a little bit more. Be nice with run momentum. Please don't punish air dash. Yeah, TLDR, don't punish air dash mobility. Why give triple jump when he air dashes and he just lands and he just dies for it? Don't double jump into landing recovery is awful. Bring back DPRC and add invincibility to backdashes, please. 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 Be nice. And I'll play this game until it's over with. From one long-term Guilty Gear fan to the devs. But anyway, that's just me. Now that I've gotten it out the way, love y'all. Keep doing what you do. Let's get back to it. Sorry, I had to like let it out in video form. I might even do this separate. I might even add this as a separate part and be like, look, my message to the Arc development team. Anyway, to round all this out, I think this season right now is decent. I think they can fix these bugs, push a bit further, and this game can be pretty badass. You know? Like, as I said before, I might not play this competitively, right? But like, if I'm to be honest with you guys, to be real chat room, the comments on the YouTube for people seeing me come back to Guilty Gear has been very uplifting, no lie. A lot of people saw that short, that shout out to Ghost. He made that short and they saw that I was having a lot of fun. And they're like, yo, this dude is back. He's actually just smiling at this game. He's having a good time. That means a lot to me, right? It might seem like, oh, this is a YouTube comment, Kensu. No, my foundation has always been Guilty Gear, you know? And people know me as, fortunately, unfortunately, the Guilty Gear guy. You know what I mean? But I love their games, man. And I think where they're at right now with Season 4 is good. It can make it better. I'll be happy when they do. Again, I don't have to play competitively, but I can have fun with the game and show you guys how to have fun with it too. So I think at the end of the day, before competitive, there's always the fun aspect. And I think that's what's always driven me to do all this in the first place, is the fun aspect of fighting games. They don't always gotta be all competitive, for sure. The competitive part was the big driving force for me though, that's for sure. But you know, I'm hoping for the best. I hope this patch does rearrange some things. I'm still excited. I'm still happy to play. So with that being said, I'm gonna end it here. You guys let me know how you guys feel about this in the comments below. Talk to me and let me know. Has this patch been nice to you? Are you only concerned with what the pro players are saying? How do you feel? Don't tell me how about, you know, in the comments, tell me how you feel. Don't tell me about pro players. Tell me about how you feel. You, the guy watching this video, watching me, tell me how you feel. Don't murmur when anyone says. How do you feel? How is the current balance patch affecting you and your current skill level? Talk to me. I'm very interested. And with that, I'm gonna get up out of here. Lots of passion, lots of love for Guilty Gear. You know what it is. You know the time. So I'm gonna get up out of here. Deuces, gooses.